Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra Premiere, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Swampert! Swampert on a double ground ABB line for the Ultra Premier League. It is quite strong, of course, as we all know, Swampert OP. Swampert can really close a game strong, and that is exactly where it will be on this team, in the back as the closer. Preferably with a shield advantage, and also on this team completing the double ground ABB line, Gyarados in the back to draw out any potential grass types or fighters. As Gyarados, as tanky as it gets, even not hitting that 2500 CP limit, still overpowered, very good at grabbing a shield advantage or a health advantage, so that Pidgeot can come back in, farm down, set up Swampert to close strong. That's how the team is designed. Pidgeot's on the lead to protect our back two ground type Pokemon from the very powerful grass types in this meta. And to an extent, the fighters slash counter users as well, as both Pokemon don't like those either. And before we dive into the featured set of the video, going to start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. Here we go. Glaceon, very interesting pick. It is quite glassy, so that's obviously a nightmare lead. So going to come in with G-Fisk and put the pressure on really early with a Rock Slide. And we do grab an early shield from them. Now, I do recall Glaceon getting access to Water Pulse, I believe. So we do shield out of caution. And they make a play into a Venusaur after banking a little bit of energy. So this is fine. Shields are even. Going to go right for the EQ. We have been debuffed courtesy of an Icy Wind, but it still chunks the Venusaur, and we can definitely tank a Frenzy Plant from this health range. That's the power of G-Fisk in the Ultra League formats. So we will let the Frenzy Plant go, and we will survive long enough to get off another EQ and really put the pressure on our opponent. This should just about KO. It does KO. They don't want to give up two shields, and that is fine. They've got an Ampharos in the back, so they are ABA weak to a G-Fisk. Very interesting. Gonna go for the Rock Slide. Not likely that they allow us to make it to an EQ, so might as well put the pressure on. And we overtapped. Not expecting them to panic swap back into that Glaceon, but that is fine. We can actually just come in with our Pidgeot because we got shields down. G-Fisk absolutely put in the work. We definitely tank an Icy Wind, and we will absolutely make it to a Brave Bird. That's the beauty of Pidgeot. It either deletes or debuffs. We're deleting, saying bye-bye to the Glaceon, and now it is all but over for this poor Ampharos. This is the beauty of the double ground backline behind Pidgeot. As you see, we do comfortably tank a Focus Blast. Not only does Pidgeot protect our back two Pokemon from the grass, but our back two Pokemon protect Pidgeot from the electric, which is why this team has such good synergy. But we get to this EQ, which means we're saying bye-bye to the Ampharos, and just like that, Swampert doing what it does best, and that is close the game strong. Good game, well played. Pidgeot double ground, as solid as it gets. And here we go, the dream lead. We've got a Heracross. This is beautiful for Pidgeot. I do imagine they swap immediately. Gonna wait to see which normal type it actually is. It's a Greedent, so it's fine. We're a little bit behind on energy, but it's okay. That's the power of G-Fisk. Quite spammy, can outpace most things in this meta. And we can go straight EQ on this Greedent here. It does not do very much damage. Its redeeming quality is its bulk, and it does comfortably tank one EQ, but they will have a very difficult time tanking two. So we will let all this go through. It is doing laughable damage to G-Fisk. So tanky, so spammy, so powerful in the Ultra League formats here. Gonna let all this go through. It's a body slam that's resisted. I think they're trying to get shields down. Not going to happen. We're going for EQ number 2 here. And if they want to give up a shield, that's fine. But no, they let it go. Likely wanting to come in and farm down with that Heracross. So just going to put the pressure on. Go for the neutral Rock Slide. On our way out, does do neutral damage as it is part bug. And we will look to come back in with Pidgeot, of course. And they do get to a Rock Blast. So that Heracross hits pretty hard. Gonna shield this up and look to farm up a little bit. But no, they've got a Charizard in the back. And we've got just the answer to these pesky and annoying Charizards. You'll love to see it. We do comfortably tank a Blast Burn. Probably could have shielded there, but it's okay. We will thoroughly outpace this Charizard. Gonna go for Hydro Cannon number 1, and they will likely start shielding right about now as Hydro Cannon basically one-shots Charizard. It really comes down to IVs, but yeah, basically one shots. They do bait us with a Dragon Claw there, and this can only be another Dragon Claw. We do survive this, and gonna look to take out this Charizard as it hits like a truck. But many of us all may know that by now, of course. And going for this Hydro Cannon, grabbing the final shield, and they snipe. Nice snipe trainer, but that is okay. We are in cruise control here. We definitely tank a Rock Blast, and all we do now is farm down this Heracross here, and we will have loaded energy to close out against that Charizard. It is energy dry, going for the Brave Bird here. This should just about one-shot the Charizard. I was surprised to see it did not one-shot, but once we get this thing the best buddy, I don't think that will be a problem whatsoever. We get to the Feather Dance, and we are saying bye-bye to the Charizard. And Pidgeot coming in clutch, cleaning up the endgame in dominant fashion. Good game, well played. Pidgeot says, move over, Swampert. I can close the game as well. And here we go, picking up a not-so-good lead in the form of Steelix. Going to make a play into our safe swap G-Fisk, and they meet us with a Trevenant. So we do have the energy lead on this Trevenant, which means that we can actually take this into 0 shields if they so choose to play that out. So we do go for Rock Slide number 1. We don't intend to shield anything here. As I mentioned, the goal of this ABB team is to preserve a shield advantage to allow Swampert to destroy. That's the goal with this team. Going for Rock Slide number 2. It does not KO, but we will absolutely make it to another Rock Slide. They have to go Shadow Ball to take us out. Seed Bomb is not going to cut it. This is only a Seed Bomb, and we do have the Rock Slide loaded. That does not KO, and we are going for Rock Slide number 3. We will either grab a shield advantage or flip switch with our G-Fisk. They want to control the alignment, so that is absolutely fine. G-Fisk putting in the work. So valuable in this meta. So now what we do is we come back in with our Pidgeot, of course, and we will just farm this thing down, setting up our Swampert to perhaps close the game strong here. I do imagine they bring that Steelix in just as fast as they can, and they do. And we meet that with our Swampert. They've got a Sylveon in the back, so very interesting. Swampert can do quite well against Sylveon, especially if it has a shield advantage. Going for the Hydro Cannon there, and we are going to look to manage our energy effectively here. We are going to go for another Hydro Cannon here, expecting a potential shield, knowing that Steelix is super bulky, but no, they don't shield. Likely sleeping on the power of Swampert. Yeah, the charm is not going to cut it for them. I think they're thinking that they can just charm down, but no, that is not happening. We're farming them down, and we've got a loaded energy. Going to go for a Hydro Cannon bait. They know that we're absolutely loaded, so likely they shield. They do, and now we can go for that big EQ. And Steelix is so darn bulky that we know that this won't quite KO, but we also know that we were just one off from a Brave Bird, and yes, it is resisted. Yes, Steelix is bulky, but it absolutely chunks. Doesn't quite KO, but we do still have a shield, and it is lights out for them as they do promptly top left. Good game, well played. Had a lot of fun with those bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video. And here we go. Dragonite lead. Very interesting. Dragonite quite powerful, but we can hold our own here. Gonna look to just play this out. We will shield up the first move, as that's going to be doing the most damage. Now, I find in my experience, most trainers would rather risk getting one shot than shield up a Feather Dance. So we are going for the Brave Bird and knocking out the Dragonite. One shot. See you later, Dragonite. And gonna safe swap Swampert actually onto this Obstagoon. Holy smokes. Oh, that's the power of Pidgeot. Like I said, it either deletes or it debuffs. And my goodness, the deletes are so satisfying. It's astounding. Nobody wants to shield up a potential Feather Dance. They would much rather risk getting one shot, and we are happy to do that. But we are just playing out this mid-game matchup. They're staying in. We went Swampert, obviously, because Obstagoon could do quite well against our G-Fisk, but we kind of wanted to force them to swap, but something in the back doesn't really want to see a Swampert. We're not going to shield anything, going to preserve the shield for Pidgeot, and they will not allow us to get to another Hydro Cannon. Going to take us out here with a Night Slash, and that is fine. We really just wanted to clear that debuff, maybe force them to swap, but no, they stayed in. And we're going to wait down the switch timer and come in with our Pidgeot here. Not sure what they could have in the back, but whatever it is, doesn't necessarily want to see a potential ground type. So, going to shield up the Night Slash. That's going to do the most damage. We do intend to go Feather Dance here. Again, not sure what they have in the back. Don't really want to debuff ourselves. We'd much rather debuff them with a Feather Dance. Doesn't quite KO, but they do swap finally into a Gengar. So, yeah, that definitely doesn't want to see a ground type and going to Feather Dance, and I could not believe they let that go. We were definitely at a Brave Bird, but I guess they figured they've got nothing to lose from this point, but we've got just the answer to this Gengar. We took a little bit of the sting off of that high attack output from the Gengar. And all we need is a Rock Slide to take out this Gengar here. Gonna go for Rock Slide number 1. Likely shielding, and they do. But we had another one locked and loaded. Gengar made of glass. We're going for this Rock Slide and saying bye-bye to the Gengar. And it is a nighty-night sleep type for that Obstagoon. Hanging on by a thread. G-Fisk sweeping up the end game. Good game, well played. Oh, this Swampert team was absolutely putting in the work. It was a lot of fun. Here we go, picking up a positive lead. Shadow Machamp, and we made a big mistake. My goodness. Oh, this battle is so painful and frustrating to watch. We obviously wanted to bring in our G-Fisk, but we misclicked, brought in Swampert onto a Walrein. Something about when people whenever someone brings in their hardest counter, it just throws me off and my brain just short circuits and I end up doing really dumb things like this here. So we're trying to play our way out of this misclick here. Obviously, you want to bring in your Steel type that has access to Rock type coverage onto the Ice type, but we're trying our best here. Man, so frustrating watching this back. We're going to let this go. We don't want to give them a shield advantage. We're going to try and make it to a Hydro Cannon, but I don't think it quite KOs. Walrein, very bulky, just hangs in there to terrorize your existence. Actually, yeah, that would have KO'd. They went down 2 shields. So we bring in G-Fisk. Really messed this one up. Gonna try and work our way out of it here, though. Like I said, they go EQ, of course. That is unfortunate, but we do tank that. And we are gonna get rid of this very annoying Walrein. Holy smokes, this thing is so annoying in this moment. I was so angry with myself, and we top left. That one was gift wrapped on a serving platter for us to gobble up, and we threw that one. Good game, well played to our opponent. How to throw 101. If you want to know how to throw a game, watch that last one. But here we go. Terrible lead. G-Fisk going to go into our own G-Fisk to mirror. And they do stay in a little bit here. We don't intend to shield anything, as we do have a better answer in the form of our Swampert in the back. So we do let that go. We do survive. Doesn't even get us into the red. And now we will go for an EQ of our own here on this G-Fisk. Likely they shield. I don't know why they're staying in for so long, but yeah, we do grab an early shield from them, and they are trying like heck to take us out. We do survive a Rock Slide. That's the power of XLG Fisk, and they catch our next EQ onto a Como O, so that's fine. It's got a chunk, got to do big damage. They are playing this very interestingly. That's fine. Gonna throw Pidgeot in here. Basically sacrifice Pidgeot. We're not shielding anything. We know a potential close combat will do a lot of neutral damage to us, but we do survive and we can still farm this thing down. We have loaded energy. Gonna bank these moves here. They're waiting down their switch timer, playing very, very wisely here. Hats off to our opponent. Got to aggro swap into Swampert and put the hope and faith in our Swampert to close this thing out for us here. We do have to shield up an EQ. We don't know what else they could have in the back. And we do successfully shield that up. And it's a Dragonite in its shadow form. So that is not good. You definitely don't want to see that. So the play here is to grab that final shield, which we did. They definitely didn't have to shield that. But our play is to grab the shield and stall like we've never stalled in our life. So gonna go for another Hydro Cannon. If you know you need to stall the clock, guys, the best way to achieve that is to go for your charge move. Just let them rip just as fast as you get to them. We are stalling like our lives depended on it. The reason why is because we've got energy on Pidgeot. We did stall. The plan is working so far. And this will absolutely be enough to say bye-bye to the Dragonite. And now, key moment here, guys. We go Feather Dance because we know that this G-Fisk will make it to an EQ, and we have to lower that attack because our Swampert will not survive a non-debuffed EQ. We knew that. One of the rare circumstances when shields are down and you don't want to go for your big, hard-hitting move. We survived that because we lowered the attack. And we know that we outpace, and we know that we one-shot. Holy smokes, had to play our way out of that lead loss, but we did it. We are saying bye-bye to the G-Fisk, courtesy of Swampert, hanging on by an HP with an assist from the Pidgeot. You'll love to see it. Good game, well played. Tactics and inches, that is often the name of the game in Go Battle League. And here we go, Obstagoon lead. This is okay. We can stay in here, no problem. So the way I play Obstagoon is I'll generally shield the first move, knowing that I want to get off a Feather Dance, but they're not throwing, they're over farming. It looks like they're playing to a CMP tie. No, they're just over farming. So whenever they do this, it's a good chance that they have a big nuke move. We wanted to shield their first move either way. They do go Night Slash there, and that is fine. Gonna look to go for that Brave Bird. Like I said before, guys, a lot of trainers would much rather get one shot than shield up a Feather Dance, and we are happy to oblige. We say bye-bye to the Obstagoon. They've got a Charizard not running Wing Attack. Very interesting. They are running the classic Fire Spin fast move, but that's fine. Gotta go for this Rock Slide here. Put the pressure on this Charizard. Rock Slide basically one-shots Charizard. Especially if it's from an attack-weighted Pokemon or if it has stab. We will shield up that Blast Burn and put the pressure on that final shield. We intentionally throw on suboptimal timing because we know that we're not getting to another move and we want to get those shields down. So that is fine. They will take us out with another Blast Burn here, but we can just bring in our Swampert. Surprised to see that they stayed in, but they really wanted to get rid of that G-Fisk. Gonna wait down the switch timer. Once they see the Swampert, I'm expecting them to swap. But it looks like they're gonna try and catch onto a Sylveon. So this is fine. We're just gonna overload, chip this thing, and dip into Pidgeot. We wanted to accomplish two things. We wanted to chip into Brave Bird range and leave with a Hydro Cannon loaded. So the plan is working out. G-Fisk got those shields down, allowing Pidgeot to delete yet another Pokemon in the Ultra Premier League. You'll love to see it. We're saying bye-bye to the Sylveon, debuffing ourselves, giving that Charizard a little farm, and it does not matter. We had the Hydro Cannon loaded. That was calculated. A Blast Burn will not KO from this range, and this will be nighty-night sleep tight as we do trigger the CMP event, getting to this Hydro Cannon. Shields are down. We're saying bye-bye to the Charizard, and Swampert has shut down and swept yet another in-game. Good game, well played. Oh, Swampert on this double ground line was really putting in the work, but not with a lead like this. This is why we got double ground behind Pidgeot to protect it from these electric types. Most notably Ampharos. That's the most prominent electric type that you'll see in this meta. We go in the G-Fisk and they meet us with a Snorlax after banking some energy. So we just go straight EQ, as generally trainers do not shield their Snorlax. That's likely their tankiest Pokemon on their team. It's just a big damage sponge, quite versatile, and we go for EQ number 2 here. It, of course, does not KO, and I do believe we will let through whatever this is. Even if it is a superpower, we do survive, but most trainers like to go with the body slam first, but no, they go right for that superpower, and we will shield to control the alignment. We absolutely need to control the alignment. Pidgeot can do nothing to an Ampharos, so we will go for a Rock Slide here. This will definitely KO the Snorlax, and they let it go, taking the shield advantage, so that's fine. Well, they do come back in with the Ampharos. I was not expecting them to come back in with that. We do live a Brutal Swing. They have to go for a massive move to have any hope of KOing, and they go back-to-back Brutal Swing, so that means that they're running Thunder Punch, which is good to know. That's some good intel for our Swampert that's just licking its chops in the back. We're going to come in with the Swampert, and they've got a Dragonite in the back, so we're going to come back in with Pidgeot, of course. And we are comfortable shielding here. We have a good insight into what their moveset is. If they had Focus Blast, they would have thrown it on the Stunfisk, which is why we were comfortable shielding there. We want to get rid of this Dragonite. And we're going to go for this Feather Dance to take the sting off of that attack on the Dragonite. They no-shield that. Very interesting. We could have one-shot them, but that's fine. And so now these are obviously going to be doing less and less damage, going for yet another Feather Dance. That's the safe play. Maybe grab a shield, but mostly to take the sting off of that attack. And they are not shielding. I'm telling you, people just don't want to have to shield a Feather Dance. That is fine. Because we've debuffed them to the max. That does not KO. They aggro swap back into the Ampharos, and we are looking pretty good here. Gonna just go straight Hydro Cannon, but we will threaten with an EQ by building up to it. We do grab the first shield. And yeah, likely they're not running a big move. They're just going to go Brutal Swing in this matchup here. Yeah, definitely running Thunder Punch, which is great for us, because we do tank another Brutal Swing long enough to get to the back-to-back Hydro Cannons necessary to seal the deal here. There's no way that on earth that they are farming down. Going for another Hydro Cannon here. They will likely shield. Likely looking to go down with the ship. I don't know why we're over-farming there. We had the Hydro Cannon. That Dragonite was hanging on by a thread. We say bye-bye to the Ampharos. They take us out with a Dragon Breath, but we return the favor with a Wing Attack, taking out that Dragonite and closing the game strong. And that is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to our opponent. So yes, guys, if you do have access to these three Pokemon, it's a very strong and powerful team to run in the Ultra Premier League. I had a lot of fun with it. If you don't have Pidgeot, I would say Dragonite would be a suitable replacement. But that's really the only replacement I would go with. Maybe Noctowl, if you do happen to have an XL Noctowl, that would work as well in the place of Pidgeot. Yeah, so yeah, that's about it in terms of replacements. But if you have all three, definitely give it a shot. It's a fun team, very effective, good for climbing. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.